علي رسول.
Sir, this master is C.
Did he get permission from the department?
No.
Omar. A huge subject. Maybe we have many science participate in this subject, and we have to decide before what is morality. Morality came from moral. What is yes?
I think morality is the concerned principle of right and wrong behavior.
It's very good, yes. It's majority of the literature of morality say that morality is concerned with what is wrong, what is right in our behaviors, in the behavior inside society. But this is general. This is general because we have many perspectives of morality. We have philosophy perspective. Look to the morality from philosophy perspective. Look to the perspective of ethics. Morality as ethics. It's related to the religion, related to the faith, to our following of our traditions, religions, traditions. This is philosophy. But also we have psychology perspective, looking to the morality as a developmental factor inside our society. So, in this lecture, we will study the morality from the psychology perspective. First of all, the first one studied morality and moral scientifically was Darwin. In his famous book, Darwin has a famous book. Who can remember? Darwin, yes. Who can remember? What's the famous book of Darwin? What is the famous book of? Yes, it's just yes.
Theory of development.
Yes, this is one, but it's not that famous. Yes, who can remember the famous book of Darwin? It's the Reason of Man, or some yes, cousin. It's somehow, but it's some translation translated to the origins of yes, sir. But it's the name of the book. It's Reason. It's also mean origin. Reason of Man. He discussed the morality, discussed moral, and trying to find a definition of moral. What is moral? He said that the moral is a code. It's rules written as a code. You know the meaning of code? Code is, or code, it's the same. Code. It's something written and we can follow. We can follow in supermarkets. So, he said that it's principles and its rules written as a code or code we can follow. We can follow. And he also said that the society deal to put rules or customs to follow, and that is in somehow it calls morality or moral in general. But in 19 1950, we have a very famous psychologist. His name is Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget. He studied the morals and the developmental factor in morals. Not because Darwin looked to the morality as from the philosophy perspective. But Piaget in 1950 looked to the morality as a developmental factor. It's something can develop. The child can develop the morals during their life. And he rejected the idea that say that moral is something coming from the society and force it to the members of the society. They force it to follow these rules or these morals. He said no, the child, when he grows up inside his family and inside his society, he gets the morals gradually with him, and the morals develop in the same way that his body or his psychological factors in his life develop. So, says that the morality is something can develop, so we have to put principles or rules of development, and that's what we call it moral development. This was Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget. After that, we have a famous one come to the morality and trying to study morality. His name is Kohlberg. Kohlberg. Kohlberg put a theory about studying morality. He was very brave to enter such huge field because majority psychologists trying to put themselves far away from a field required judgment. Well, this is wrong or right. They trying to avoid such situations. But Kohlberg put a theory and measurements about morality and how can we follow the development of morality and morals. Why I said yesterday, in the lecture of yesterday, I mentioned to the lecture of Kazan about Mr. Haynes. He told us a story about, do you remember? Yes. He told us a story. This story, it's one of the Kohlberg's stories. Kohlberg put stories to use it to measure the morals according to the response of the children. And I will retell the story, the same story. The story is about man, his name is Mr. Haynes. Mr. Haynes. His wife was very sick in such a dangerous kind of cancer. Dangerous kind and unique kind of cancer. And there is a drug in medicine, drug in a pharmacy. If his wife gave this drug, she will survive. and if she didn't, she will die. The price of the drug was $2,000. He went to the pharmacy and asked him to sell him the drug in cheaper than $2,000. But the pharmacist refused and say this is the price. This is the price. So take it or leave it. There is no discount in these cases. He tried hard to borrow money, to searching to someone, lending him money to buy the drug, but he fell. No one borrowed or lent Mr. Haynes money. What he do in the last decision for him was he broke the pharmacy and stole the drug. This is the story of Kohlberg. And Kohlberg said this story have to use it, and we asked the children, do you think that the behavior of Mr. Haynes is true, it's right or wrong? According to the response, he put 6 stages in 3 fields about morality. He said we have the first field, he called him pre-conventional moral. Pre-conventional morality. And let us write this. Number 1, pre-conventional. Conventional, you know the meaning of conventional? It's the same tradition. The same tradition. Or equal to tradition. I don't know, we use it. Yes. Pre-conventional morals. Pre-conventional morals. And he divided this field to 2 stages. The first, who can tell us? Very good. Punishment and reward. What the meaning of punishment? Yes. What Kohlberg mean by punishment and reward? Raise your voice. They expect punishment or reward. If he did something bad, he expect punishment. He did not expect, but he thought in the behavior according to the formula of punishment and reward. The child in this period, it's only 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years. So the child thought about, should anybody punish him if he do something wrong, or do somebody else would give him a gift or reward him. According to that, he will behave. This is the moral for him. So, if we return to the Mr. Haynes' story, what's the child response about the story? He will ask, yes, Kaza.
He just said that the child feel that's right because he immediately thinks about the punishment.
Yes, is there anybody who will punish Mr. Haynes? Mr. Haynes will punish it. If anyone punish him, he will say this is wrong because this will cause a punishment. Right? So this is the stage. Punishment and reward. And number two, stage number two. Yes? Yes, Gaza? Yes.
And in this stage, the told is not finished between the right and the wrong.
Yes, of course, because they're only 3 or 4 years old.
And that's why they always think about punishment. They not think about the right and to get the reward.
Yes, they think this is wrong or right according to the result, according to the result of the behavior. Stage number 2. Yes, serious.
You can say egocentric.
No, you can't say it because it's fixed.
Yes.
Yes.
Egocentric judgment. One of the
Sorry, pardon.
Egocentric judgment.
No, it's exchanging. It's exchanging. What the meaning of exchanging? It's exchanging. Exchanging. It means exchanging the rules.
Also, for the word of ego, we have
Yes.
the same meaning.
The same. It's clause. It's clause. What the meaning of exchanging? It's exchanging. It means that yes.
To break the rule.
No. Exchange, it means exchange the rules. Exchange the rules. Yes, Abu.
It's given as child growing up in the beginning, he depends on what he like. What he likes. He think what he likes is it's a good behavior. But after you punish his father or someone else, punishment him, he changed his.
And according
his
to the
behavior
story.
according to the punishment. And it's a first step to growing this role that they put for him.
And according to the story of Mr. Haynes, what will the response of the child will be? If you ask him, the first,
In the beginning,
let me tell you something. The first stage, when you told the story to the child and ask him, is this behavior, the behavior of Mr. Haynes, it's true or wrong? He will ask you, is there anybody who will punish Mr. Haynes? According to that, he will decide whether this behavior is right or wrong. In this stage, he will ask you, is the pharmacist stole Mr. Haynes before? Because this is the exchanging of rules. In the statement of Kohlberg, if you crash my bag, I will crash your bag. If you hit me, I will hit you. This is yes, it's, you are, for example, you stole something from me, I will steal something from you. This is the exchanging. This is the meaning of exchanging. And this is the moral according to this. According to this, what we call it exchanging. This is 2 stages in pre-conventional moral. Number 2, yes, very good. Conventional. Conventional morals. Yes, Gaza.
I want to say something about that second.
Yes.
In that stage, the child asks about the result of the action. Because he asks, the person who asks either he wants to survive his wife or he wants to do something else. If he wants to survive his wife, that's good, but it's right to steal the drug. But if he has another intention, dirty intention beside that, that's
Another reason for stolen, it's wrong. Yes, Gaza say in the second stage, it's depend on the reason why Mr. Haynes decide to steal the drug. If the reason or the motivation of stolen is to survive his wife, it's right. But if he steal the drug or sell him in another place or for punish the pharmacist, this is what Kaza means. In conventional morals, we have also two stages. Number one, yes, Bahar. Enter. And yes, very good. But we can say number two, in conventional, we have what we number one, we have what we call it good and bad person, or what Bahar expressed, interpersonal, good or bad person. How the society will look to you if you participate in a thief. If they look to you as a good man, you will participate. Because, let me tell you something. In some periods, in some areas, I don't know in this region if that was have been done or not. But in other words, in some period, especially before 1920, especially before the establishment of Iraqi country government. In that time, the tribes and the cities consider the man who participates in a thief is a hero, is a brave, it's a good person because he can get what he needs. So this is the point of view. If the society look to Mr. Haynes as a bad person, so it's a bad behavior. But in somehow, if the society look to Mr. Haynes as a good man, as a hero, because he brought the pharmacy, he gave the drug for his wife, and so he's a hero, he's a good man. So this is the point. This is the point. Whether Mr. Haynes is good or bad from the point of view of the others, the group, the society. This is number one. Number two, it's considered number four because we have number one, number two, and number three, number four. Number four, in conventional. Yes. Zero. Yes. Law and order. And order. What? Yes, Kaza.
I have something wrong with
You always remember after we finish the yes, Kaza, please.
The first one, some terms come to mind of the children. For example, I love empathy.
Which one?
The third one, conventional morals.
Conventional was in the good and bad person.
Yes.
Yes.
Like love, empathy, and caring or concern to the others. And if, according to the story, if we ask a child about the story, in this state, the child answers you that it was a good intention behind the stealing of the drug, but the druggist was selfish, and he was always care about himself, and he was always caring
careless
about
about the
others.
others,
Yes, he didn't care about the others.
the sickness
Yes.
people. Yes, that's a good point, because Kazan said that how the society look to the person, not only in the, this is a story about Mr. Hans, but you can apply it about or on many other situations. Many other situations, like Kazan said, like in love and helping poor people in anywhere, you can use it. Why we saw, for example, in some periods or in some places, rich people trying to give gifts. For example, in the previous election in the Arabian region, in the election, in the period of election, many politics brought with them gifts and travel from city to city, from town to town, to give their gifts. It's differ of average from variety from maybe refrigerators, maybe moquette, maybe food. They gave the people, the poor people, gifts because they want them to look to them as a good man or a generous. This is what Kazan said. So law and order. Law and order is law. It means yasar, and order system. The system. If you ask the child from this period, because this from 10 to 13 or 14. This period from 10 to 14 or 13. It's to the starting of adolescence. If you ask the child, what is your opinion about the behavior of Mr. Hans, whether it's right or wrong, he will ask you, is there any law or order say that Mr. Hans can't steal from the pharmacist? If there are any law, so it's wrong. But if there is no law, so it's right. This is the case. The case, if you have a law, if you have an order, punish you, or at least avoid stealing. So it's not responsibility of the pharmacist of Mr. Hans or Mr. Hans. It's the responsibility of the government. The government has to put a laws, has to put an order, keep the society safe from stealing. So it's not responsibility of Mr. Hans, because the thieves and the bad persons anywhere, there's no city inside any country, it's safety from stealing. So this is the case. Number 3, it's clear here, or you want me to read something? We have post-conventional morals. Post-conventional morals, and we have number 1. Yes, Bob? Yes. Social construct or structure. We as a human beings, we are living inside a society. There is a social structure link us together, because each society, whether it's a tribe or town or city, there is something, we call it customs or traditions or social customs. These social customs, it's supposed to be obvious to the members of the society, and all the members follow these customs. Who can give me an example? Who can give me an example?
Can you repeat?
I'll repeat it.
According to what?
According to. We as a humans, so for example, let us take color. For example, in society of color, for example, there is a traditions between the citizens inside the city. I don't know, because I'm a stranger, but I don't know what is the basic traditions, social traditions. Like, for example, if there, I don't know whether this is existed in Kala or not, but it's for example, if we find a sick person, sick poor person, maybe his neighbors collect some money for him to help him to go to the hospital or to a doctor. This is social construct or social structure inside. No one order them. No one ask them or order them to do this. It's something optional. Or we thought that it's optional, but it's not optional. It's when it is traditions, it's not optional. Yes.
I think what
Yeah.
I want to mention that point in our society, our tradition oblige us.
Yes.
If someone want to marry,
To marry, very good.
the boy should ask the hand of the girl.
Again.
But there's a small area in India. We have the controversial situation. The girl should ask the hand of boy.
So the boys is happy there. Because they are sitting in their houses
They will
and
not face problem.
the girls searching for husbands. Okay, but let us ask about example about morals. Because this example is not morals, it's example about the habits, the traditions. But what about social construct inside the society? Yes, Surush.
For example, when my friend failed an examination and he felt sad, I try to...
Yes, Surush. Inside the city, inside the society, not individually, not between you and your friend. We are as a group, we live in the same town, we live in the same place, and we follow the same tradition. Do you get the idea? Yes. It's difficult? Oh, try to find something and we will return to. Yes, Azad.
When someone walks into the city and see a car hit a person, and and the car left him, and then he comes to the person and bring him to hospital.
Yes, very good. This is what we call it social construct. No one obligate for this person to carry the hidden person and to the hospital, and maybe he will wait, he will wasting time, he will maybe wasting money, maybe he will put in the responsibility of deducting inside the hospital who had this man, who where you are. This is what we call it social and construct. Yes, it is.
I want to give an example about the social construct.
Yes.
For example, in our society, when a boy and girl they made a marriage process. After the marriage process, their relatives and their neighbors they
Made an invitation.
gifts or money or some requirement that they wish in their house, but then no one to support them or encourage or help them, tells them in order to take their requirement or present something to.
Yes, very good. This is what we call it social construct. It's moral for you if you have a friend or relative or neighbor or someone getting married. So you're visiting him, and maybe you yes.
Can we say that when you see a young boy hitting a small boy, and no one obliges us to protect him from that young boy, but we do it? Can we say that?
It is social. It is
Yes,
social.
because no one obliges you to do it.
Yes, I know, but it is when we say social construct, it means that all the members of the society knew this behavior and they follow. It is social. It's common.
I think-
All the persons do
I
this.
think it's tradition, not
Tradition,
yes.
maybe. Yes, Huzan.
When someone died in the neighborhood, they will all in the neighborhood come to that house.
The house and
sympathize
sympathize with him,
and
and maybe bring something to him to help him, food or something like that. Yes, return to solution.
For example, when we walking in this street and we saw one house is violent, all people try to go and to help the people inside the house.
Maybe we can consider this, yes, Azad.
When we are blind in the city, we catch it and correct.
Yes, well, not only a blind man or person, maybe any handicapped person. When we saw some handicapped person inside crossing the city, whether it's blind or something else, all the people sympathize with him and trying to help them to cross the city. This is what we call it social construct. And the last item, number two, the last as universal principle. Universal principles. Yes. Universal principles, there is a principles. It's common anywhere, not only in Kurdish area or in Kurdish society. Maybe it's in Kurdish and Persian and Turkish and India and West. It's common, or it's not general, it's universal. It's something all the human beings, all the nations follow these principles. There is a principles, it's the same in anywhere, in any country you can find the same. Who can give us an example? Yes, Bakhtiar.
Can we say that respecting the foreigner or stranger?
Yes, very good. This is a good principle. Respecting the visitor or stranger in the city. Yes, Rivas.
Yes, when somebody sick, his relevance, go to visit him to decrease her ache or her sorrow.
it's universal. All the nation participate in this principle. I don't know. Maybe it's in social construct because it's different from place to place. If you maybe in some areas they will consider this wasting of time. Wasting of time. In some areas, yes, Kaza.
There are some principles or moral principles that some moral leaders follow, like Gandhi, Umar ibn Khattab, and there are some manner which is compassion, which is not related with me, or there is some situation that we have not to aid someone and hurt someone else. We have to be equal in both sides.
Yes, we can say that, but in general, Kazan said there is persons famous in history, like Gandhi, like Umar ibn Khattab, like many other persons, leaders or persons. But in general, for example, peace, searching or respecting the peace inside the society, this is a universal principle. Anywhere, no one will tell you we want terrorism, we want conflict, we want war. All the societies searching about peace, and it's considered immoral to searching about peace anywhere, something like that. Finally, we can say, according to Kohlberg theory, that we have, like what we said about the human development stages. We have a moral development stages. The first stage, it's in childhood. Start in childhood. When it's the control of our morality is punishment and reward and exchange. And the second stage, it's conventional morals. It's in adolescence and or in a late childhood. It's good, bad person, and it's law and order. And the finally or the last stage is social construct and universal principle. But put in your consideration that maybe we can find societies still in the first stage. Because this is not only for a childhood or for children. We can say that some societies, if you don't punish them, they will stop, for example. They will kill, they will hurt. So you have to punish them to make them follow morality. So it's not, don't imagine that this is only for children. Maybe we can apply it for adults, for adult persons. This is the stages of morality. And next lecture, inshallah, we will study the values, the development of value and the relationship between value and morals. But right now, any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you very much.